Okay, beautiful people. Happy Monday, Labor Day. Good to see you. Big waves to you. Hope you're having a great day out there. So many of you. I see what you're doing. I'm so excited for you. Congratulations. Um, we're going to have Tony come on at some point and share with us a blast from the past. Let him tell you his stage name at some point. We had a lot of fun with that one day. So that's a side note. Tony and Cheryl just broke some ranks in our company. I know not everybody's a part of our company, but it was exciting to see. So many of you did. So proud of you. All right. We had some birthday weekend people. So Christy, Doris, I know Christy and Kim, it was their birthday. So Andrea, if you do see them on, we'll be happy to sing to them. So the word for today, Francis, man, we're knocking out these words you sent us. So the word is influence, influence. And I'm going to jump right into it on Labor Day. So if you look at influence, just so everybody knows, I take notes, okay? Influence, the capacity to have an effect on the character, the development, or the behavior of someone. So I came across this quote, and I want you to think about your life, like the life you're living, this dash you've been in so far, however old you are. Okay. Just so you know, if you just answered that question, I'm 50. That means 50 years you've had a dash on this earth. Okay. So think about this. We have a responsibility, and it's to influence people in our life. And why do we influence them? To be the best possible version of their self they can be. And so I believe, and I know you believe, we get on this call every morning, like our job is to grab someone, lock arms with them, and boost them up, like encourage them, take them from where they're at to growth of making a movement. And I got to thinking about this, and I thought, really, I'm thinking about my mind's going to my profession. Like my profession's it's really simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. And here's the simplicity of it. If Alan Schultz starts to learn our profession and he gets good at what he knows how to do, his job is to just duplicate himself to the next person. Like pour into that person. That do they got to be willing and able? Yes. But his job is just to spend time and become where there's two Alan Schultzes out in the world, right? Really simple. Jean Ann Alberson, same thing, right? Brenda Carlton, same thing. Like we pour ourselves into others and then hopes that over time we duplicate ourselves. And that's our industry. But I got to thinking about it and I thought that's literally should be our life. I'm like John Frick, me and you should go around and we should learn with the intent to teach. And I got to thinking about it and I got to thinking, Brenda, what about driving a tractor? Do you think there's people in the world that does not know how to drive a tractor? So why would we leave one day this dash of our life and go, I didn't teach anybody. I've got this skill. It's inside of me. I know how to drive a tractor and I'm going to keep it to myself and I am not going to teach anybody. That's not what we're here for. We're here to influence others and teach them, give them the skill. What about changing a tire? Like, listen, this stepped on my toes this morning because as a parent, so many times I watch myself go, well, I don't have time, so I'll just do it myself. But Brent, are you really teaching? Are you learning with the intent to teach? Like I know how to change a tire, but do my kids? I know how to change brake pads on a vehicle, but do my kids? I know how to drive a tractor, but does my kids? I know how to drive a stick shift, but does my daughter? And I got to thinking about that. That's just me and my kids instance. But that really is our life. Like, so I learn a skill and then I should find people to teach that skill to, whether it's my profession, whether it's just hobbies. Like, if I'm a hunter, who am I teaching the practices to be the next hunter in the world? Like if I'm a gardener, am I teaching my daughter how to be a gardener? Like, or my son? Like, does that make sense? Like, I'm just like influence. If I'm going to look at my profession and go, hey, Brent, your job's to duplicate yourself to others so there can be multiple of you out in the world. That's really what John Frick's job should be, so that there's multiple tractor drivers out in the world. He took somebody that didn't know and taught them how. You took somebody that didn't know how to drive a straight shift and you taught them how. Alan Schultz, you took somebody that didn't know how to officiate football and you taught them how. Like, that's influence. That's living an impactful dash that we all have an opportunity to go through on a 24-hour basis every single day. And so I'm encouraged by this word. This was a great word for me this morning, because I'm like, I fail in so many directions because I'm like, I'm just too busy. I'll just do it myself. And it's like, Brent, take the time to learn with the intent to teach others. So, Andrew, I'll turn it to you. Great
Well,
word.
coach, I mean, it's kind of mean to step all over somebody's toes first thing in the morning on a Monday. It's like my little toes are like this right
Even
now.
on Labor Day, I'm doing it. Oh man,
Even
I'm
on
supposed to take
Labor Day,
off
that
today.
was a
Yeah.
powerful lesson. And I think about it's so true. Like, if you think about, we all have so many skills and we don't bother to share them with somebody else because we're like, that's overwhelming, that I'm too busy, blah 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 blah, right? And so I'm going to appreciate everybody in the comments that said they're going to teach me how to drive a tractor and maybe even an excavator, and I don't even know what that is, but I'm coming. I want to play on these big toys. That looks like a lot of fun. But what I looked into, so the quote that I found was, control what you can, influence what you should, and forget the rest. And that's Todd Stalker. And so what I looked into is, and coach, you broke it down so well. Like I feel a little silly going into my line items right now, but like, how can we be a positive influence? And I think it all goes back to what coach just said. Go teach somebody something that you learned. You're reading a book, maybe you're reading this Outlive book and you're learning these lessons. Well, go have some conversations with people to go tell them a little bit about it. Or if you know how to make the world's best cup of coffee, well, go share how to make the world's best cup of coffee. I don't know, whatever your skill set is, but go share it. But the line items that I found, the action items, first of all, lead by example. So coach does this the best. We saw that, what, a week ago, and I'm sorry, coach, I'm gonna have to mute you because you're giving me, I know, but we're gonna brag on you anyway. But here's somebody that's had a lot of success here. And we might think, well, he's probably just going to sit back on his laurels, right? He's done a lot and he's busy and he's raising babies and all the things, right? But no, he ran for chair 3 and hit it, right? Which is a really big deal. If you're not in our company, it's kind of a big deal. So if you're looking for somebody to work with, call me. I mean, call Brent. Okay. So with that, I thought I'd throw myself in there. But then even with that, right? So he hit this big rank. And then what did he do? He stayed in the living rooms all week long. He drove all over, I don't even know where, and stayed in living rooms. He led by the tongue in his shoes, not the tongue in his mouth. So another way to put it is teach, don't preach. Go do and go lead by example. Next is to do your homework. If I want to influence somebody, I kind of should know what I'm talking about. So if I want to be influential on a specific topic, go do my homework. Be somebody worth listening to, not somebody that just likes to run their gums. And I know I can be chatty, so I can be guilty. Sometimes I just want to hear the sound of my own voice. So sorry, guys. Next is to be authentic. So when you know yourself, you can show yourself. and you can share yourself rather than being that carbon copy, right? Because sometimes we can look and think, okay, when I grow up, I want to be Brenda. I want to be Brenda Carlton. When I grow up, I want your hair, but when I grow up,
I want to be Masaba.
Okay, well, you can be Masaba. I'm going to be Brenda. But what the world needs for us to influence is for me to be me. So we can learn from people and we can be influenced by them, but go bring our own authentic flavor to the world. Next is to listen. Listen to both what is said and isn't, because we see it. Like some of us have glass faces and every thought we have is just written on our forehead and we can't help it. But other people, we have to listen a little bit harder to figure out what in the world they're really trying to tell us. Because sometimes people say one thing, but they kind of want the other, or they do the opposite. So we've got to truly listen and figure out what's going on. Next is to catch people being good. And I heard this from Summer, where she was talking about her boys and where she would, if they were being rambunctious, anybody have young boys or ever have young boys, they can be wild little monkeys and it's fantastic. But she would catch them being rambunctious and she'd be like, stop. And I don't want to parent for Summer and speak for her, but she would kind of stop or try to stop them. But then she shift her focus and tried to catch them when they were being good. So when they were being kind to each other, they were doing the right thing or whatever, she bragged on them. And what she saw is that goodness grew. And we're all like that. We can do that with the people around us. So when we find people that are doing what we would love for them to do and they're doing something positive, go praise it, go love on it, go, give them a high five, shoot them an audio, whatever it may be, but go love on people when they're doing things that are great. And we'll all go do more great things. Have you ever had a mentor that does that to you? It's phenomenal. And then lastly, know your lane. So if I tried to go out there using the thread here, and I decided that what I was going to do is I was going to teach everybody how to be the world's best tractor driver, I would not be very effective, right? I've taken one picture with the tractor, maybe two pictures with a tractor in my life, and that is my life experience so far. So if I try to go in that lane, I'm not going to have a lot of success, but there's places that I could probably influence people. So stay over there, maybe learn about the tractor, but stay in your lane.
Andrea, great lesson. And before we unmute everybody, unmute Masaba. I want everybody to look. I mean, I'm looking at Masaba. Masaba, if you can, we're going to try to unmute you. Okay. Masaba's in Uganda. I want you to think about this morning. Here's a gentleman that gets on every morning with a huge smile on his face. Masaba, can you unmute?
I'll ask again. Oh, there we go. Oh.
Try it one more time, Masaba.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
Hi.
Hey,
I
just wanted to tell you, I wanted to tell you thank you this morning for being a part of the Coach's Corner community every single morning. Your smile, your attitude, how you just, you inspire me to get up in the morning and get after it and be happy with the day and be thankful for what I got my hands on in life. So I just wanted to say thank you, Masaba.
Welcome, Coach. Thank you so much. This community has really changed my life and I feel so great. I'm so grateful to be here every morning. It's really inspiring. Best way to start my day and work out on my goals. So I'm really so excited to be here with you. I'm really so happy and so excited. Thank you so much, Coach, as always.
Masaba, we love you, buddy. Have a great day. Masaba from Uganda.
Hey, Masaba.
If you want to know our outreach, give Masaba some love, guys. Have a great day out there. Happy Labor Day.
Love you guys. Have a beautiful day.
Have a great Monday, Masaba.
Love you.
Love you, Masaba.
Thank you. Good day, Masaba.